Hello and welcome to What's New in Media Composer 6.5. I'm Steve Kanter, and I'm going to be taking you through just a couple of the new additions to the Avid toolset with version 6.5 of Media Composer, Symphony, and version 10.5 of Avid Newscutter. So right off the bat, one of the cool features is that we now have a button here in the interface for toggling on and off the connection to the hardware. Now that I have my hardware here, I can toggle my client monitor on and off, but I'm still connected to the hardware. As you can see, if I go to the Settings tab and scroll down to Video Input and Video Output, I'm going to turn off the hardware connection, and they disappear. Up in the Special menu, I will now have access to certain software-only features, such as full screen playback.
Ever feel like you ought to do something more?
Now I'll toggle this back on, and my video input and output settings come back. And if I go to the Special menu, I have lost the ability to do full screen playback, and instead I will have some options that deal with my hardware protocols. So if you share your I/O hardware with another application like Final Cut Pro, when Final Cut Pro needs to work with it, you can see the control panel says it's in use by Final Cut Pro. But when we switch to the Avid, it says it's in use by the Avid. You can see it changing from 525i2997 when Final Cut Pro has control of it. And then when we're in the Avid, it changes back as soon as we enable the hardware button. Another feature which has been missing from Avid for a long time is the ability to copy and paste keyframes in your timeline. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And let's say I have some keyframes here that I'd like to copy and paste. Well, with the keyframe button active, right, I can go over and I can select a keyframe. And by holding down the Shift button, I can Shift click to add more to my selection range, or Shift click to deselect. By holding down Option, I can actually lasso the keyframes to select them. Then it's simply a matter of doing copy and then repositioning and marking either an in point or an out point. It doesn't matter which. And of course I have to target the tracks I'm going to paste onto. Now if I do the paste command, you'll see the keyframes got pasted down there from where I copied them. Another feature in Avid that was always kind of a pesky annoyance is that in segment mode, if I wanted to select this clip and say these two clips and move them, I would not be able to move them unless I also selected the gap between them. But of course, new to Avid 6.5, I can select non-adjacent or continuous clips and move them. I can even select them on alternate tracks. And you can see we can move them, and even when transitions are attached to those segments, you should be able to move them. And the transition, of course, stays attached to the segment I'm dragging. If I need to edit a title, I can edit it directly in the timeline. Simply right-click on the title and choose Edit Title, and that will open up your chosen title tool. This does not work with titles that have been promoted to marquee, only with titles in the title tool. And of course now I can go and edit my titles. Alright, and once I do the changes that I want to do, I can close and save the title, and it will update in the timeline. I didn't have to enter effect mode, nor did I have to click the Edit Title button in the effect editor. Another great feature in Avid 6.5 is the ability to relink through AMA to more than one file at a time. Now in the past, if I had a file that was offline and I wanted to, say, get all of these back online, I could right-click on any of the selected items and choose Relink to AMA files. But you would have to do this one at a time. You'd have to navigate first to the 13-3A underscore 1 clip, and then it'd have to navigate to another one, and it would be kind of annoying. But new to this version, it's actually going to relink all of them. And as you can see, I now have the relinking to my AMA clips. Another AMA related setting is that in the AMA settings now, under volume mounting, there is a new option for automatically link AMA link to volumes. And this is a really interesting option because it works a lot like dynamic relink in an interplay environment. So for example, if I change something about the location where the AMA linking has happened, what we're going to notice is as soon as I change the name of that, everything goes offline and the AMA clips have become regular master clips which are offline. But when the volume is mounted again, or in this case when the folder reappears with the correct file path name, notice how it is automatically relinking. This is a great new feature that's going to make it really, really easy to mount and unmount your AMA volumes and get your media online and offline with the same ease as all the regular Avid files in the MXF folder.